Hello, Quanita. This is Keisha Boyd, and I have decided to respond to your post. Um, it really touched my heart actually reading your post about this 12-year-old young man who's dealing with anxiety and depression due to the fact that um, he's living with his grandmother and occasionally seeing his mother and having no contact with his father. Um, that's a really sad situation, and I've actually experienced that with a family member. So I do understand the dynamics of it and how it can affect a child, and how anxiety is probably very common, and depression is very common when you have a situation like that. Here you have a 7-year-old who is still trying to connect with his own identity to his parents and his culture and his lifestyle, and being used to having certain type of lifestyle, and then all of a sudden it's gone. It's been separated. So having his grandmother raise him, I know he has thoughts of like, you know, what is wrong with him, or having some identity crisis, or is it something that he did that caused it? So when you look at therapy and you look at the tools that the therapist can use as far as just allowing him to control the process and not being rushed in the process. Um, and the therapist looking for patterns of emotions is what you said. Um, as far as just being mindful, or taking note of how he says things or does things, or if he decides to use play therapy, how it could affect him if he's 7, so maybe role playing would be a good tool to do, so he can kind of gauge how he feels about the other relationships or dynamics and that's in his life right now. And definitely not having a father in his life, he probably struggled with connecting. So depending on if the therapist is a male or is a female, that might play a part as well in this therapeutic process of him getting the help that he needs. But I really enjoyed reading your post. I think you did a great job. Um, you said in the living room approach, giving freedom to the client, but also directed by the therapist. So yes, allowing the client to kind of flow in the way that he needs to go without any like outside interference, making it more rigid, but just allowing him to just flow and just be able to express himself. So the therapist can really take time and look at all aspects of what's going on, what he did in beginning sessions, how he's experiencing or showing his feelings and emotions throughout the therapy session. So again, I think you did a great job, and I appreciate the opportunity to give my comments. Have a great evening.